Alright everybody, and welcome back to the World of Tanks 8.11 test server. Today we're going to be looking at the overview of everything. This video is going to encompass pretty much everything that this update has to offer. There are no new tanks, which is pretty cool. There are for super testers, which I do not happen to be one, so there's no new tanks I can cover. There is a new map that will be a separate video, and there are quite a few changes to tank destroyers. As you can see down below, I've got a lot of them listed out here. That will also be a separate video because I think it deserves one. But today, in this video, I will be basically looking over quite a few of the changes that are going to be done to models and stuff, gameplay changes, and achievements that have been added / changed. So if you're looking for my map replay, if you're looking for that right now, unfortunately, my other computer that I usually use as a bot for the other team when I do a training match is still downloading the test server right now, so I do not have a chance to actually do that today. Hopefully that will be up and running tomorrow. I've been having a couple technical difficulties with that computer regarding drivers are not up to date, and some problems with my drivers in that computer, so it's kind of hard to run World of Tanks right now with it, and it's been taking a while to get it right. I've had to re-download test servers. I think this is my third time right now, second or third time, so it's I'll figure it out. If I have to do something else, maybe recruit some clan member to do it, I'll get it done. But that means I won't have that done tonight, so I apologize for that, but the tank destroyer video will be up along with this, so you can expect to see that. So let's jump right in. The first thing first is you can see that this is the T-54, the tier 9 Russian medium tank for the Object 140 and T-62A tree, not this one. Basically what has been changed is that the model, mostly. I mean, for the most part, it's just the model. If you remember before, this here log was in the back. A lot of these toolboxes were quite larger, and these little machine guns, one on each side, were different. When I go in TeamViewer in a little bit, I will see if these are actually hitboxes or not. If they are, it will be a giant weak spot on both sides for you to shoot at, which will make this frontal glacis a very unappetizing target, and these little boxes here are a very nice one. There have also been external fuel tanks added along with an extra toolbox, and other than that, that's the only really changes to this model as far as armor. And again, I'll look at these to see if these are actually hitboxes, or if they're just spaced armor, if they're just absolutely nothing. There has been a increased price in the Object 140. Basically, I had to scour the internet quite a bit to figure out what that meant, because I looked and the actual purchase price was not changed. It's still 6,100,000 credits. It's actually the repair cost has been increased by, I believe, 27%. So you'll be expecting some higher repairs if you've been using that tank lately. The next thing we have is the quote-unquote fixed armor on the AMX AC MLE 48. AMX 50 Foch, and the AMX 50 Foch 155. And these, I'm going to be looking at TeamViewer to show you the differences. And for the most part, the frontal armor has not been changed. It's more so the side, and I think also the rear armor that has. So let's jump in Tank Viewer to check that out. Alright, what was I saying? TeamViewer? I meant Tank Inspector. I apologize. My notes have Tank Viewer on them, so that's my bad. I meant Tank Inspector. So let's look at the armor models. Now this is the 8.10 version armor models. So AMX AC MLE 46 has 150 millimeters of frontal armor, 40 at the side rather, and 40 at the rear. Didn't want to do that. The Foch, AMX 50 Foch has 180 at the front and 50 at the rear and side. The Foch 155 has the exact same armor model except for this little side skirt, so nothing too different. 180 at the front, 50 at the side. Now, if you're wondering how to get your tank inspector to go to test server, you're going to go up here to Preferences, the game path. You're going to want to change that to wherever you have your test server stuff. Mine is at World of Tanks CT. Just double click that, select folder. Alright, now nothing changed. That's because you're going to have to restart Tank Inspector. Now it's going to beep at me because apparently it's still... Oh, not yet. You have to... I don't know what it does. It goes back to that. You have to exit out of this that window and then exit Tank Inspector. Load it back up. Alright, now we have the new armor models for 8.11. Let's check those out. 180 at the front, and if you look here, there's a lot simplified armor. I feel like there used to be a lot of different numbers here. I'll have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure there are quite a few more numbers over here. I think the model actually got simplified somewhat, but you can see that now the sides and rear are 40 millimeters, 10 millimeters less, and the front is the exact same. So basically, instead of having absolute garbage for side armor, you now have double absolute garbage. I mean, this thing didn't have any side armor anyways. I don't know what the nerf was for. I mean, if it even was a nerf. I mean, it basically makes this tank the exact same it was. Maybe making it possibly lighter. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the weight hasn't changed. I don't have anything in my notes about it. So, here's the Foch. Exact same thing. 180 at the front, 40 at the sides. I mean, nothing has changed. Besides 10 less millimeters from these rear and sides. ACMLA 48, 150 from the front, exact same, and 40 on the sides and rear. That is the exact same. It must have been something simplified, possibly. Was this here before? I wonder if that was... I don't remember that being here. This little tumor. They might have put in an extra tumor, which is exactly what this thing needed. It was more tumors. I honestly have really bad memory, so if you want to check out what changed, I mean, you can go back in the video. I can't right now, so yeah, I think that this tumor was added or something, because this armor is the exact same as it was, and it doesn't look like it's any different. So maybe that was changed. Put in a little 20mm plate right there that nobody will ever be able to shoot. This thing, little lower plate. I don't know. Whatever they changed, they changed. There's your model. Now let's check out the T54. I figured this out the other day. You can type it in. You can find your tank. Cool. All right. It appears that these are not gonna be hitboxes. Your little machine gun ports are not hitboxes, which is good. I like that. I think that extra weak spots from the front on this thing, it doesn't really have incredible frontal armor anyways. I mean, it can bounce shots, don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's not certainly not a heavy tank, to say the least. So an extra weak spot from the front is not exactly what T54 wants or needs. Although this is coming from a future T54 driver, current T44, and a object Type 59. So I really love this tank. I can't wait till I buy it, but that's another day and another story. So that's Tank Inspector. That's all that I have really as far as changes in actual models, as far as damage / armor models. So the only three that got changed are the AMX AC Emily 48, the Foch, the AMX 50 Foch, and the AMX 50 Foch 155. Those are the only three tanks. The T54 apparently was not changed at all as far as the armor scheme. Alright, after going back to edit this video, I actually realized I forgot to mention something that's like beyond really important. I had intended to do it in the video where I mentioned the maps, but then I actually didn't mention it in that, so I'm going to do it in this one instead. Basically, this is confrontation battles, which is basically where you get all all one faction, so versus another faction. So you have all Americans versus all Germans, or all Germans versus all French, or all French versus all, you know, British. Basically, the only factions, however, that are allowed in are the Russians, Germans, Americans, French, and British. The uh, Chinese and Japanese are not, because they don't have full trees, and that isn't really fair, because I mean these guys have already tank destroyers, medium, light, heavy tanks, whereas the Chinese only have gotten until tier 5. They've only got one tree, and the Japanese the exact opposite. After tier 5, they only have one tree. So it's not really fair that way. So until they get their full trees, that's the way it's gonna be. My personal feeling of this battle is it's pretty crappy. I've gotten into numerous battles where there's been whatever faction I've been in versus the French, and the French are just crazy good with their autoloaders. I don't see any way around it. The Americans can kind of compete with them because they got the T-57, but the best closest I got was when I was in actually this tank. We almost beat a French team, but it seems like every time I'm not the French, I always face a French team. So I'm not sure how this will be on the live server, but right now on the test server, I'm not a big fan of it, and I'm definitely gonna turn it off once the live server comes around, until I'm pretty sure that's balanced. So just want to interject there, get that in. So continue watching, guys. Alright, the next thing I have on my list is visual models of the Chaffee, KV1S, and Lorraine 40T were all changed, and because they're just visual models, I'm not going to go into that too much. Now, the next thing is kind of strange. They fixed size, quote-unquote, bugs of the Type 59, T54, WZ120, and the Nashorn. Basically, any T54 copy, which is then the Type 59 WZ120, apparently were not the right size. I honestly don't know. Have never actually seen one of these tanks up close in real life, so I can't judge anything. However, the T-54 copies, the tanks I just listed, they appear to be about a fourth to a half meter taller, or longer rather, not taller. They seem to extend out in the back, like past this turret, like this just butt part seems to like just be bigger. There is on Silent Stalker's blog, there is a GIF that has the two armor models, and that's what appears to be. I don't have that for sure. That's just speculation on my part. They also seem to be slightly taller. I mean, maybe an eighth of a meter, maybe, but it's barely anything. So I mean, they're slightly bigger, nothing too drastic, but it's enough that you can kind of notice it between the two, but nothing too crazy. The Nashorn also seems to be about a fourth of a meter taller, but not too much. I mean, it's not very much wider. It's not anything but slightly taller, which I think it's just made to be the exact same size as the Hummel, and apparently it wasn't before. I don't know. So that is the only really changes as far as visual models, and really it hasn't changed sloping or anything, so there's nothing too much about armor models. And if you want to check out those GIFs, I will have a link in the description for you to check those out. And I would highly suggest you look at Silent Stalker's blog. It is an incredible place for information. It is where I get a lot of my World of Tanks information, and I'd highly suggest that he does question and answer translations every day. So big I'd suggest you check it out. Next thing I have is increased profitability of the following tanks: Löwe, T-34, T-34-3, FCM-50T, M6A2E1, Sexton 1, S-51, SU-14, 1, M12, Lorraine 155, Emily 50, VK2801, VK2001D, VK3002D, and the GW Panther. What this means is that a lot of artillery and a couple of light tanks are going to be making some more money. But the one thing that really affects me is the premium tanks are now going to be making a little bit more money. Ever since the Luva got nerfed, probably like it's probably like 10 patches ago now. Um, there is it didn't make very much. I mean, I can't even say that. It made a lot of money. I mean, you could make 50, 60, 70 credits without a premium account pretty easily. However, before, without a premium account, I was breaking 100k on a pretty good battle. Whereas now it's 60, 70 net. So it it's it makes money, but it used to make almost twice as much as it does now. And it won't make that much money as it did back when it first came out. However, it will make quite a bit of money now. I mean, I'm looking at 80, 90k most likely. Same with quite a few other premium tanks. And surprisingly, they also did this to the Mutant 6, a tank that honestly I don't think has been touched since the beta went live. So, and that's kind of surprising. It's actually in the patch notes. I don't know if a lot of people know even what I'm talking about when I talk about the Mutant 6, but it's one of those tanks that you kind of want to get just because nobody has it, but then again, it's not very good. So whatever. That's that. Oh, all premiums are supposedly going to be on the same level of profitability as the Tiger 88. So I don't have a Tiger 88 to base anything off of. However, I know that the Tiger 88 was the best moneymaker at tier 8 for premium tanks. So all tanks are supposedly going to have the exact same or very similar profitability as that, which will be cool, awesome goodness. The next thing is suspension damage model were standardized for the T29, T32, T34, M37, M41 Chaffee, Perishing, T92, M18 Hellcat, M4A2, E4, M46 Patton, M103, T57. I'm guessing that's the T57 Heavy and not the T57 Tier 2 Artillery. However, I'm not entirely sure on that. The T110E5, the T26E4, the T110E4, the T110E3, M44, M55 slash M50, M53 slash M55 rather, T69, and the M60 Patton. From what I can gather, these suspension models are basically your tracks, and on American tanks, you have this little gap right here that is now going to be a gap in the suspension model, meaning that you can shoot through this little gap and into the side of the tank. It's not very big. It's basically between the road wheels and the return rulers. So it's not an incredible gap, but it's pretty cool that you'll get some decent shots in there every once in a while. The M44 artillery now can't drown in shallow water. It used to be like the Waffenträger, the tier 8 one, the Rome bullshit, where it in pretty shallow water, usually like fordable water, it would start to drown. I honestly didn't have one, so I didn't know about this problem until it was in the patch notes, but apparently it drowned in shallow water, so that has been fixed. Also, artillery now has a matchmaking balance of 10% lower value, which means that if you're unfamiliar with matchmaking, basically every tank has a certain number that it is worth. Like, for instance, a tier 10 is worth, let's say, 100 points, whereas a tier 1 is only worth 1 point. So, artillery was then worth 110 points, whereas, let's say, my Jagdpans do 100, although I'm pretty sure tank destroyers get a bonus too. But let's say my Jagdpanzer U100 had 100 points. Artillery would be 10% better than that at 110. Now it's the exact same 100. That's overly simplified, so that's not exact values, but that's the idea. Basically, artillery is now on the exact same playing field as every other tier 10 tank, quote unquote, asterisk after it saying, look at the wiki for specific data, blah 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 blah. On to gameplay changes. This little button up here, crew operations. Basically, you can retrain crew, return crew to a vehicle, send crew to the barracks all at once. You don't have to go, I want to send you to the barracks, and I want to send you to the barracks, I want to send you to. You can now just do a one-click stop and shop, do everything. Let's say I want to retrain these guys to the, apparently to them, that's the only thing I can do. You can do that from there. I wish that you could possibly do the, the training, so I could just retrain every freaking person in case I wanted, let's say, a T14 for whatever reason. I bought a T14. And I want to train everybody on 75%, every one of these. I thought I wish that that's what this was for, but I mean, yeah, whatever. You can't get everything, can you? Another cool option is, where is it? Where is it? Somewhere in here. I remember I saw it earlier. Come on. Oh, there you go. Save message recipient. Maybe? Is that what it was? Yeah. Basically, this means that you can now record your battle chat, which is awesome. Basically, if you have this on and you, let's say somebody has been making fun of you or there's something, you can send that off. You've got the exact transcript. You don't have to take screenshots of it anymore. It's a lot easier. You can, do whatever with it. I mean, there are endless possibilities for you. The other one right under is disable battle chat. Now this one's got this little eye next to it for a reason. That's because, oh, I guess you can't click on it. Alright, platoon chat, not disabled. Player can see special commands, i.e. pinging the minimap. Player can send special commands, i.e. pinging the minimap. Player can send messages in platoon chat only, which means that if you have this disabled, you can no longer type in chat. However, you can't see anybody else type in chat. So it's kind of like if you don't want to have chat on, don't have chat on. However, if you want chat on, you have to understand that you're pretty much the only one who's going to be seeing it. So you should probably have one or the other on, because if you really care that much about this, you would have this on. And if you really don't care about that, you might as well have this on. So really choose one or the other. I'm probably just going to have this disabled, to be honest. Oh, a new tank fire icon is in. I doubt it's in here. No, it's not. Basically, if you have seen the drowning icon, it's like a little circle down here that has a little tank underwater. Basically, there's a new one that's a circle with a fire in it. That is to show that you have started on fire. And it's pretty cool because before you basically had to wait until oh, commander's been knocked out, the loader's bought a farm, the tracks are down, the gun's out, the loader's dead, oh, and we're also on fire, and you've lost half your health because I've said every freaking thing wrong with it except for the fire. No longer. You can just see a little icon here. Oh, time to hit whatever your fire extinguisher module is, and boom, it's out. Which is awesome. A lot of people have been waiting for this for a long time because I don't know why it hadn't been put in before. You can also now disable post-mortem kill cams. I'm not entirely sure why you'd want to do that. I guess somebody really wanted it. I don't know. Whatever. I'm fine with it. It's right here. Let's see here. Improvements to the mission discount window, which is this thing. Apparently there are no missions, so I can't show it off to you, but I think that they're now sorted out into different columns or something like that. Can't really see what it is, can't really test it at all. It's kind of pointless right now, but that's that. Right-clicking on a tank in the garage can go straight to the statistics on the tank. So let's just choose a tank I have statistics on. Yeah, let's choose a tank I'm actually good at using. My Big Panzer 100 statistics are pretty embarrassing. You can now right-click and go to display statistics for this vehicle, and you can see the statistics for everything, all your whatever, stuffs, which is pretty cool. That's awesome that you can do that now. I like that. You can also, if you go to the tech tree, and we see the E4, you can now have display in garage. You can click on that and straight to the garage. So let's say you buy in the tech tree. Let's say I want to buy well, I don't have enough slots anymore. I'd have to sell, you know what, I got plenty of gold. Let's say I want to buy a T30 for whatever reason. I buy it, purchase a slot, okay. Well, instead of just hitting garage, because I'm too lazy, I'm just going to display it in garage, and I can see it. Boom. Not too shabby. That's pretty cool. Also, after you die, and if you're in a platoon, your camo goes to your platoon mates. Oh my god, my prayers have been answered. I can't tell you how many times, if you watch my videos, you probably know I rage every time I die, because I literally cycle through everybody, and it takes me, it's probably either the last one, or it'll sometimes skip over my platoon mates, and I have to go in and physically like click on it. It's just like, just go to my guys. It's actually the most annoying thing, and I thank you, Wargaming, for changing it. That's awesome. Also, if you hit F8, aka reloading command, that will also show the amount of time left in your reload, so that everybody will know, hey, I'm reloading my Waffenträger Alpha U100. I've got 40 seconds left, so yeah, don't let me get shot. Pretty cool. There are also more reticles to choose from. I think it's actually, yep, these ones. Got this dot, whatever, you know, all these different things. And I'm just gonna leave it at whatever I had before, but more reticles. Mastery badges no longer disappear. Apparently there's a bug where they disappeared. Voice chat and chat were quote-unquote fixed for team battles. I don't even know what that is. Camo can now be stored, aka used later, on the same tank. I think, let's say I buy this, alright, yep, alright, so now I wanna buy this one, alright, okay, now I can now switch between either one. I don't have to rebuy it. Once I have it bought for, I think you can only do this for gold camos, but once you have it bought for gold, it's yours forever. You don't have to worry about if you want to buy, let's say, you know, you have this camo, I don't really like it, so I just want to get that one. Well, now you can use that one. Don't have to pay a dime for it. That's pretty cool, I think. Also, supposedly motion blur no longer nukes your computer. I highly doubt that. Basically, the only way that you could get motion capture to motion blur without motion capture, the only way you could have motion blur actually in effect, I think, was on like high or maximum, was when it actually like set it up with motion blur, because it was just too taxing on low computers. I have mine off. First of all, it makes me queasy whenever I watch it, and second of all, it just absolutely destroyed my FPS. So I wasn't a big fan of it. Let's see, where are we? Oh, modifiers to crew skills are all shown. Let's say I have this one. It'll show the +5 for my commander if I had vents on it. Yep, mount. It'll now show the +5 for my commander, +6 for my vents, which is awesome. I really like that. There's also an opportunity for tanks to retain use of camo used in the last battle. I don't know what that means. Honestly, it kind of confused me when I wrote that down, so I put a bunch of question marks behind it, but I think that it means if you're in a summer map, or if you're in a winter map and you have that camo, then you can then for the next battle use that winter map or winter camo no matter what battle you get in. I'm not entirely sure, I'll be honest. I don't know what that means. If you guys know what it means, put it in the comments down below, because I have no flippin' idea. And then there's of course a whole host of bug fixes and stuff, so if you want to check those out, you know, go look at the patch notes. I don't give a shit. And the last thing for today is achievements, which should be pretty quick. Basically, there is a new high caliber award, which is cause the highest damage per battle. The restrictions are cause damage must be at least 20% of the total health pool of enemy vehicles. Basically meaning if every enemy vehicle has 1,000 health points, that means that the enemy has 15,000 health points. 20% of that you have to do. I'm not really going to do that math in my head, but it comes out to somewhere around like, I don't even know, like it's less than 5,000 but more than like 4,000, probably around 4,000 actually. Around 4,000 damage if every enemy tank had 1,000 health points. The cause damage needs to be at least 1,000 anyways. The player must not hit any allies. Two or more players have the exact same damage, which I've never seen before. The achievement is awarded to the player who got more XP, and it can only be attained in random battles. The next one is Tanker Sniper. Cause the highest damage per battle at a distance of at least 300 meters. Firing accuracy must be at least 85%. At least 80% of the hits must cause damage, including damage to enemy vehicles and modules, which means if you shoot a track, yes, that counts. The player must cause more damage than the hit points of the enemy's than the player's vehicle, at least 1,000 hit points, which means that if I have a T30. Alright, my game just crashed. I don't know what happened, but as I was saying, if I have a T30 which has 1,650 health points, and that would mean that I would have to do at least 1,650 health points to get that award. Again, I apologize I crashed. I don't know how that video is going to end, if it's going to cut off or whatever, so I'll edit it as best I can. The player must not hit allies. The achievement is now awarded only once per battle. I don't know how it could be awarded twice. It's unavailable for SPGs. Yes, you suck, because you can automatically pretty much fire over 300 meters, and it can only be attained in random battles. This is weird. This one, I don't know what this exactly is, but there's a new category called Special. Actually, it might not be new, because I think that this one was there before. But Sniper apparently is now a special, quote-unquote, award, and apparently Sniper medals are not achievable anymore. It said that in the patch notes. I have no flippin' idea what that means. I really hope that's not true, because Sniper was one of my favorite medals to get, because it actually made me feel like I was, like, doing pretty well in the battle, you know, even though I didn't get Top Gun or, you know, whatever, Boosters medal or whatever the fuck. So I don't know. I don't know, honestly. That's what the patch notes say. So it is what it is. There's also a new award specifically for team battles, the first of which is Genius of War. Earn in 100 battles, be the top player by experience earned. The restrictions are win the battle. New received awards are added together, can be obtained in team battles only. The next one is Wolf Among Sheep. This is win 100 battles and be the top player by damage caused. Newly received awards are added together, can be obtained in team battles only. Unlike this one, you don't have to win to be win this award. Alright, here we go. Armored Fist is the next one. Destroy all enemy vehicles while losing only one friendly vehicle. Basically, you just have to win the battle. All team members get it and can only be obtained in team battles, which is pretty cool. If you watched my subscriber event video, we actually had a game that would have won this award. So, yeah, good stuff. Next, we have King of the Hill, which is be the only let me clear my throat. Be the only survivor while driving a tank or tank destroyer. Win the battle, can be obtained in team battles only. Basically, that means that at the end of the battle, you had to have killed all enemy tanks, and you have to be the only one left alive. And that appears to be it. Alright, we just crashed again. That's great. I'm back here anyways. Like I was about to say, I think that's all the awards that I can find. And that's about it. Oh, no, that's about it for the new awards. There are still awards to talk about. I have just seen this one, Razani's Heroes Medals. I've actually never seen this one before. Destroy at least 14 enemy vehicles in the course of one battle. Well, that's probably why I've never seen it before. Basically, apparently this got changed. I've actually never heard of it before this patch. No, I know that I've seen games where people have gotten 14 kills, but must be a newer one. And the last thing for today before I end this video is that if you have a master tanker, like on my Luva, you can now, let's say I have a game where I get 2,100 experience. I mean, it's enough to get a master tanker, most likely. I'm pretty sure that's probably enough for the Luva. Let's say I get that. Um, that would mean that it would, because I already have the master tanker, before it wouldn't show anything because I already had earned it. Now, if I get the master tanker, or ace tanker rather, what am I saying? If I get the ace tanker, again, it will show in the after battle report an ace tanker badge, even though I already have it, because I've fulfilled the conditions to get it again, which I think is pretty cool, because now you can see uh, if you did really well in a tank, was that enough, let's say, for another master tanker. I think that's pretty cool. So that's about it for the overview. I think this is going to turn into a very long video. I apologize for that. I didn't realize it was going to be so long. I mean, my notes are barely a page, so I really rambled on for something. If you like this video, check out my channel for the other update videos. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.